Top story this week. Global voters revolt against and revolt in favour of Donald Trump. It's been a bit of a weird time for global democracy. We reported last week on Canada decisively voting against Trump. Australia has followed suit this week, whilst the UK and Romania have slightly gone the other way. I mean, let's have a look at Australia first, Alice. Federal election. Sort of wholesale rejection of the right-wing Liberal Party. Anthony Albanese and Labour have won another term in office, albeit it's only a three-year term in Australia because, I don't know, attention spans are shorter, I think. But
yes, and upside down.
Yeah, that's of course, time goes the other way. And Peter Dutton, the CGI-generated cartoon baddie leader of the Liberals, became the first federal opposition leader to lose their seat in a federal election. So, I mean, what is the feeling in Australia? This momentous, is this Australia's effort to not put Trump back in his box, but to I don't know, kick the box out across the sea?
Well, you know, our defiant anti-Trump sentiment in Australia is, of course, leavened by the fact that our only national defence policy is to hope that the Americans save us if anything goes wrong. So we've got to be defiant in a cheeky, charming way that will make them want to keep us around. But Albanese's Labour has won emphatically across the spread, strong swings for Labour across all of the states and territories. They've got a majority government, 86 seats. So that means they get to kind of run the country the way that they want to. I understand that for people who do not live in Australia and do not understand Australian politics, this might be difficult to understand. Dutton versus Albanese. So just imagine Albanese, while not being Trump, is less Trump than Dutton, who is also not Trump, but is sort of Trumpy. He's sort of doing the performative cruelty thing. He sort of ponces around, cackling wildly and stroking a cat. He doesn't do that. It's very difficult for a leader of a party to lose their seat. They always tend to install the leaders in the safest Liberal seats, but it shows like a real swing against not just the party, but against him as a person. Not just him as a political figure, but just it's the equivalent of people coming and putting their bottoms on his window. Like it's a really like not just fuck you, but fuck you and the horse you rode in on, and the road that your horse rode in on, and the cart behind the horse as well. We don't want it. We don't want it. We don't like it. It's going to be an interesting next couple of years, I would say, depending on what mandate Labour thinks this voting indicates that they have.
I saw a constituent in Dutton's constituency saying for some reason he didn't come across as a personable leader. I mean, could that reason possibly be everything he's ever said and done?
Well, it makes you realise how talented and charming Trump is, because Dutton was saying more or less the same sorts of things, and when he said them, you could actually hear how awful they were.
I thought it was interesting when Trump did one of his helicopter interviews where it sounds like he's blow drying his own pubes. And in it, he said that Albanese was a special friend. And then when someone put Dutton's name to him, he said he had no idea who that was. But during the campaign, Dutton had said that he had Trump's phone number, which is absolutely intriguing that, I don't know, maybe Trump saved it in 2011, like one of those people you used to play football with, but it's just mysterious in your phone as Peter Football or Dutton Bald.
I mean, after the Canadian election, in which a lot of people sort of blamed the Conservative collapse, and their leader lost his seat, as we reported last week, exclusively for the world. No one else picked up on that. Interestingly, not even in Canada. So you're very lucky we're here. That's further reason to join the Bugle voluntary subscription scheme to keep this fearless journalism going for the world. Anyway, many people blame the Conservative collapse on Trump, and Trump himself gave an interview in The Atlantic. Sadly, that was in the magazine The Atlantic, not in the middle of the ocean before sinking to its bottom, in which he took credit,
They have his phone number.
I think he took credit and or debit. I don't know which way you look at it for the Canadian public swinging against the most Trumpet candidate. So interesting times.
On that subject, Andy, it's interesting that it's the classic mix-up of The Atlantic versus The Atlantic. But it is, most people don't know, the Time magazine is called Time magazine because it used to come out every 5 minutes. And people would check the time on the top of it. That was the only means available in the pre-clock era.
Listen and learn, Bugle. Listen and learn. Do you have any more on Australian elections, or should we move on to UK?
I mean, I want to talk about the Trumpet of Patriots party in Australia, but that's just my own personal annoyance because they texted me like 15 times. Like, I'm conscious that nobody outside of Australia is aware of the kind of the small internecine politics within Australia, because Australia's main two parties are very close to one another because we have compulsory voting, so no one has to frighten anyone else into the polling booths. So everyone's sort of aligned on things like a horrific immigration policy situation and being in the pocket of big mining. But they sort of differ on other policy points. But we have other parties. We have Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party, which is a party of a lady who became famous for saying racist things in a chip shop and only went downhill from there. A very early viral win. Pauline Hanson manages to have spoken in public and said the most horrendous things while sounding like she was on the verge of tears. For coming up on 40 years now. Sorry, what were you saying?
It was her Gettysburg Address in that chip shop. Let nobody forget. In future, secondary school students will have to learn off every word of it. I hope not.
I mean, extraordinary. We also have the Libertarian Party, of course. We have the newly named Trumpet of Patriots Party, where they put the trump of the trumpet in bold and they text you 15 times a day. And unfortunately, that did not work out for them because they are also Clive Palmer's pocket party after the Clive Palmer party, previously put forward by Clive Palmer, failed. But, you know, he has billions of dollars, so why not spend it texting fucking me at 3 o'clock in the morning? I don't know.
Saying racist things in a chip shop, coincidentally, is also currently the world's biggest selling podcast, with 4.3 billion listeners. It started last week and it's ending next week.
Come on, Andy. Just asking questions in a chip shop. Come on, just asking questions.
Just asking questions in the hilarious accent of the people who run the chip shop.